Golden Bachelorette producers had a huge request for Nancy Hulkower recently. She opened up about it on a recent episode of Bachelor Happy Hour. She filled fans and Joe Amabile in on her big adventure. What is she talking about? Keep reading to find out more. Golden Bachelorette producers had a big request for Nancy Hulkower. Golden Bachelorette producers had a big request for Golden Bachelor alum Nancy Hulkower. Recently, Nancy appeared on the Bachelor Happy Hour podcast to talk about it all. When producers called her to ask her to come to Tahiti to talk to Joan Vassos, they asked her to wear a disguise. She said, "Okay, this was my favorite thing in the world." A producer said, "We'd like for you to come and it's gonna be Sunday." Now again, this is Friday afternoon at 5 p.m. I thought he meant next Sunday. So I said, "Okay," and he said, "And you need to bring a dress, sort of tropical, but not too summery." Nancy went on to say that the producer noted a final request. She continued, and then he said, "And we have one last request. You need to be in disguise." So my daughter who's in college was home and then I'm like, "Okay, I have a day and a half." I'm like, "Okay, Maggie, I need you to go to CVS," and I'm thinking, like, how can I be incognito? The producers told her it had to be a surprise and they were all leaving for Tahiti on the same plane. So, she had to really be sneaky. Nancy described what she wore to the airport and on the flight. She wore a long ponytail, a black Psycho bunny hat with a hot pink bunny on it, a black face mask, black leggings, and an oversized surfer sweatshirt that had writing on the sleeves. She almost got caught. Nancy Hulkower went on to say that Golden Bachelorette Joan Vassos almost caught her. Joan was standing only 12 feet from where she was at. She let everyone go in front of her so that Joan would not notice her there. Nancy revealed it was such a rush because she wanted to do a good job and it was important to her to deliver on her word and surprise Joan. Plus, it was really good to see her friend and be able to offer her some good advice. What do you think about Nancy going to Tahiti in disguise? Stay tuned for more updates. In the world of reality television, producers have seen it all, from dramatic exits to unexpected love triangles. But when it came to the premiere season of The Golden Bachelorette, there was one woman who captivated everyone's attention, Nancy Hulkower. Known for her elegance, warmth, and surprising tenacity, Nancy wasn't just another contestant. She was someone who inspired producers to approach the show in a whole new way. And, unbeknownst to fans, behind the scenes, they had a very special request for her, a request that would make The Golden Bachelorette not just a dating show, but a true journey of wisdom, second chances, and unfiltered romance. A unique request for a unique star. When The Golden Bachelorette first announced its casting for women 60 and over, it didn't take long for Nancy to stand out. With her silvery hair and sparkling eyes, she had a timeless beauty that radiated grace and confidence. But beyond her appearance, there was something rare about Nancy's presence. She carried herself with an assurance that only life experience could bring, and she had an engaging, humorous way of looking at the world that made everyone want to listen to her stories. Producers quickly saw Nancy's potential as a front-runner in the show's narrative. Here was a woman who had lived a full life, had her fair share of ups and downs, yet exuded a zest for life and love that defied age. But they wanted something different from Nancy, something that would elevate the show. In these Golden Hour segments, Nancy wouldn't be talking about the men or the competition. Instead, she would share her experiences on love, resilience, aging gracefully, and finding peace within oneself. Producers believed that her wisdom and stories would resonate with viewers, offering inspiration that went beyond the typical dating show drama. Nancy was flattered but hesitant. While she was comfortable on camera, this felt personal, deeper than anything she'd anticipated. However, the producers emphasized how important her perspective was, not only for the show but for audiences who might be going through similar stages in life. This is more than a show. After some reflection, Nancy agreed. She realized that, indeed, this was more than just a show. She wanted to show that falling in love and learning about oneself never stops, regardless of age. She was excited to bring a new kind of authenticity and honesty to reality TV, something that wasn't about tearing others down or dramatic moments but about genuinely connecting with people. And so, at the end of each episode, Nancy would sit down in various beautiful settings, a beach, a garden, a balcony overlooking a stunning landscape, and share her thoughts. It wasn't scripted, it was just Nancy speaking from the heart. Lessons of the Golden Hour. The first Golden Hour segment set the tone. Nancy sat by a quiet lakeside, the golden hues of sunset casting a warm glow around her as she shared a story from her past. She talked about her late husband and the challenges they faced together, the laughter and the tears, and how, despite losing him, she never lost her belief in love. It was raw and vulnerable, and by the time she finished, there wasn't a dry eye among the crew members watching her. Over the following weeks, Nancy's Golden Hour segments became a highlight of the show. In one episode, she spoke about the importance of resilience and how life's trials had taught her to keep moving forward, no matter what. In another, she shared advice on rediscovering oneself after major life changes, a message that resonated with countless women watching at home. Each Golden Hour brought something new, a lesson, a story, or a piece of wisdom Nancy had gathered through her journey. Her authenticity and vulnerability made her a beacon for others navigating the often challenging aspects of aging, love, and rediscovery. A shift in the show's tone. Behind the scenes, producers were thrilled. They hadn't expected Nancy's segments to have such an impact, not only on the audience but also on the other contestants and crew. Her words encouraged many of the other women to open up more, creating a deeper bond among the contestants. Suddenly, the show wasn't just about winning a man's affection, it became a space where these women supported one another, shared their stories, and rediscovered the joys of friendship, vulnerability, and self-worth. The show's host, too, was affected. He started to seek out Nancy for conversations between scenes, often finding himself swept up in her perspective. Her stories reminded him of his own mother, and he confessed to Nancy one day, "I think everyone on this set feels like we've learned something from you. You've changed the way we all look at life." The public's reaction. Once the Golden Bachelorette aired, the response to Nancy and her Golden Hour segments was overwhelming. Viewers wrote letters, shared stories on social media, and expressed gratitude for the honesty she brought to the screen. Women who had long felt unseen or irrelevant found a voice in Nancy's wisdom. Her lessons weren't just about dating or romance, they were about embracing life fully, regardless of age.